Relargada podcast começando e hoje o meu convidado é o Ted Bjork, um piloto sueco que corre na TCR World Tour. Ano passado ele foi o vice-campeão e teve aqui no circuito de Interlagos para a etapa brasileira. So Ted, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for your time. And the first question I'd like to ask you, well, you were here in Brazil last year for the TCR World Tour. Was it your first time in this country?
Yes, it was definitely driving on that track as well. That's famous for me growing up watching Ayrton Senna drive Formula One. So Interlagos was it was such a good feeling to come to your country and drive on that track. Unbelievable. I'm sad that we're not going back this year.
Yeah, me too. Did you get the chance to get to know a bit about the country or the city, or was just about racing and going going home again?
But it's such a big city, unbelievably big. So we just had a small tour in the city, but then we had to fly back home. So we only get to know, taste the food a little bit, meet the fans. But it's difficult to have time to, visit around in the city. But it's so nice to visit the fans that comes to the track and then just you be there driving.
Yeah, I guess so. I was browsing your Instagram and I saw a couple of selfies you took with Ayrton Senna's painting on the wall. What you just mentioned, you grew up watching F1. What can you tell me about your Formula One favorite drivers from all time?
Well, when I grew up, I decided to become a racing driver around 1993, when I saw Michael Schumacher and Senna fighting against each other. And then, I can do it as well, I thought, yeah, but that's what I wanted to do. So my youth stars was Schumacher, Senna, Damon Hill. And then I'm just like, I want to be like them.
Yeah, I remember that time. There were also a couple of pilots like Prost and Nigel Mansell. Mansell
Yeah.
was a bit of I don't know, aggressive or crazy. What do you think? I mean, Prost and Mansell, they have completely different driving styles, right?
Yeah, Mansell was there as well, but I didn't mention him because it was a little bit earlier. So he started to get older when I came, interested in the sport. And then I remember he went to America, I think, for some IndyCar. And my first like video game was like Mansell's GP racing something. So funny. No, but it was good. It was good time for racing, and I'm still, now when Formula One is like it is now with the drive to survive, it's fantastic to follow Formula One now too.
Yes, I remember I had a couple of Formula One games. It was, I don't know, the Sega Genesis or the Super NES, Nintendo Super NES. I had there was an Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP as well. It was really cool. But yeah, and then you just mentioned Formula One nowadays. It's a bit different. It's more entertainment, I would say, than it was back then. What do you think about the current racing drivers? What do you have any favorite ones?
Yeah, but my favorite one now is Lewis Hamilton. And I have that because I saw him a long time ago when he arrived in Formula One, and he had a very special style to drive, and you could see that he was really, really good. And then I've met him sometimes in like the prize ceremony when I became the world champion, and he's a really nice guy. So that's why he's my favorite now.
Got it. And what do you think about his start in Ferrari?
Fantastic. I think it's so cool that he decided to change, and just try it and try something new to get maybe more motivation and so on. He was fantastic with Mercedes, but who would not like to drive a Ferrari, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was hearing this Brazilian racing TV program, and they were talking about how Ferrari can just finish everyone's career if they are not strong enough. And they mentioned Alonso was never the same guy after Ferrari. Prost managed to win after that, but then Vettel wasn't also the same guy after Ferrari. Do you think that can happen to Lewis?
I don't think so. because he knows what's happened before and he comes in completely fresh. And I would actually say then, Fernando, look what he's doing now. He's still in the sport, so super successful. So I'm not so sure it's going to be the same way. I think Lewis will figure this out really well. But that's why I'm I'm supporting it, because I like him as a driver.
Awesome. And what do you think about this year's season? It looks like McLaren is still ahead, but do you think it will be like this for the whole season, or is there any other team that has the chance to challenge them?
I personally believe actually that McLaren will win this year. The I think they will win both championships, but that's just guessing because of the performance they have in the cars. So I'm guessing that, but I was happy to see Lewis winning a sprint race here in Shanghai. It will be different drivers winning some races, but I think McLaren is strong because they have the driver and the car package this year.
Got it. And between Piastri and Norris, who do you think is the stronger one?
I don't know them so well. So only looking at them on statistics and so on, I think that Lando will be a little bit stronger, but just looking at it from outside.
Got it. Yeah, and well, there was a change in Red Bull, so now they have Yuki Tsunoda. Um, and we've been, well, I mean, Brazilian TV shows have been talking about how Red Bull is firing one pilot, one driver after the other, and Max is still there. And they say this car is too difficult because it's tuned to Max's style. Do you think that's true? Is there such a thing like tuning a car for one driver and nobody can drive it?
I would say yes, it is actually, because Max is so strong and he really got the car on where he wanted it. And I know how the engineers can really focus on that thing. So, and that's just from my own experience in normal cars, not with Formula One cars. So I never got to looking at the other drivers, because all of the drivers now, or in the Red Bull team, they are really really good. And but I don't know if a rookie driver like can handle that. To adjust the car if you know the team wants to run it in a certain way. It will be interesting to see what Sonoda can do, but it's also interesting when they change the rules the next times. What's going to happen with Red Bull? So there's just a lot of guessing and speculating, but that's a tough team to be in, right?
Yes, yes, I think so. You mentioned, I think you mentioned because internet cut out, but I think you mentioned you've never had the chance to drive a Formula One car. But it's still you started your career karting and then you moved to Formula Three cars, right?
Yeah, I did. And then I didn't have the money to go to Formula 3 in England, or so I went to America to drive a Barber Dodge, like a Formula car junior series there, trying to get to IndyCar. And then I got the possibility from the Toyota junior team to join Formula 3000 for 6 races. And it was difficult, but it was a lot of fun. But then they cut the program, and I didn't have the sponsor money and so on. So my dream to become a Formula One driver was limited with this around me finding the sponsorship. So then I decided to become a race driver instead, and this was 2004. So 21 years ago. And then I went into touring cars, and I'm loving my life as a touring car driver now.
Got it. Yeah, so this was one of my questions. Why did you move to touring cars? And you've just answered. But did you have the chance to drive? I think you drove GT cars as well, right?
Yeah, I did. I did Le Mans 24 hours with sports cars. So for me, my style and I'm a little bit tall, quite heavy. So don't have the body style for Formula One. A little bit too tall for that. And then, but GTs, sports cars, touring cars suited me perfect. So I found myself in a really good position, both driving and enjoying this.
Got it. Yeah, well, you just mentioned Le Mans. I've seen that you've raced the 24 hours of Daytona as well. So
Yeah, I did.
I was gonna ask about Le Mans. You just tell you did it. What can you tell me about the differences between endurance and sprint races? I mean, obviously the time you have to drive, but how do you prepare yourself for an endurance like 24 hours race?
The same, you keep physical strength and you train that as normal, but you need to get along with the teammates and try to help each other. It's very important if your teammates, if you can help each other and make everybody go faster, not that someone gets angry if you beat him. You know, it's a lot of pride in racing between teammates and so on. It's a lot of tension, can be, as you see in Formula One. But in the long distance, one of the most key things is that you really work together as a team. So you can finish the car in a good position. Because if you fight each other with lap times, you end up destroying the car. So my part in racing, and also if you do sprint racing, so important to have good teammates that you can learn from. And my attitude is I'm completely open with my setups and what I'm doing and thinking, because if they are better than me, they will beat me. But if I can copy them, if someone is faster than me, then I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah.
So that,
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy to think that during an endurance race, there can be fights among teammates. I mean, I understand if you have teammates, but you have different cars in a sprint race. But during an endurance race, is crazy. So, what do you think is the most difficult thing about an endurance race?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, but not to fight each other. I think that's one of the most difficult things in the long distance on the really top level is not to fight each other to get the result you want for the team. Actually, yeah.
Got it. Well, as you've mentioned, teammates in having a good relationship. I've seen a video when you tell a bit about how you enjoy the strategy part of the racing stuff. So now let's talk about TCR. How is this strategy, or is there any strategy you use or you guys use over a weekend, a race weekend? Like, is there anything you do over the qualifying session to help each other?
Yeah, it is. Because sometimes you end up, if you're really successful, you end with the weight, the success weight that you get if you win a race. Or this last year started with if you collect the most points. And then it depends. You can help each other by pulling, with slipstream. So that's one thing. But we are four cars in the Lynk & Co. Cyan Racing. It also means that we can collect a lot of data. And if all the drivers are open with each other, we are able to learn the tracks quickly and do adjustments on the car so we can beat the competitors. Because it's so tight, so small margins to be better than the others. And that is what, the philosophy of me. If we can do this together, we will beat the others. And that's why we've been very successful winning the team championships, if you say that. We haven't won the driver championship in a couple of years now. So Hyundai have made a really good work with this. But for us, and my boss says we have to win the team championship. But no, but it is strategy and I like it because I've been doing racing for a long time and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I've been talking to another TCR pilot, Colo Rosso. He's from the TCR South America, and he mentioned how it could work strategy-wise when you have four cars. Like you have a couple of cars, the faster ones, in the beginning of the grid, and then the others at the end of the grid, and then you can somehow manage to, I don't know, control the pace of the race. Is there anything you do like this?
No comments. Yeah, but it is. It is possible to do this, and then we also have reverse grid. So if you qualify P1, P2, you're P9 and 10 in the next race. So it means that if you can be on both sides, for both races, you collect a lot of points, and then you can help each other. But sometimes it's difficult. But we try to that. We try if we can. But that's the point of strategy if we are four cars. Because if we all say all four would qualify one, two, three, four, we would fight so hard against each other. And then in this TCR, if one team, us, Hyundai, any team, are one, two, three, four all the time, they would change the rules, for the BOP. It's not possible for someone just to be way faster than the others. And that's part of this TCR challenge that all the cars should be so equal as it is, and we can fight against each other.
Got it. Well, you've mentioned that it's like a couple of years you guys don't win the drivers championship,
Yep.
but then you've been winning the teams championship like for a whole a long time. Uh,
Yeah.
who decides this strategy, and who says, is there anything like the first pilot or the first driver, the guy who has to be to manages to get the help from the others, or who decides this?
No, no, it's the team manager, team boss, or if they want to have a strategy, they have to see it. But we are all free to race, in the beginning. It's just when we get to the end of the season that you can help each other, and the one with most points needs the help from the other drivers, because otherwise you wouldn't win. And that's how the teams are working, all the teams. But from the beginning, we are free to race, and yeah, it's tough. You want to be the driver that has the most points coming into the middle of the season.
Yeah, I remember you said last season in China. It was the last race from the season. You said, well, you were the runner up, right?
Yeah.
And Norbert was the champion. And you mentioned, yeah, I'm happy it was okay. Norbert had a good teamwork as well. So just as you mentioned, it's not science stuff. Everybody's doing this. But in your opinion, what was missing for you to really get the championship last year?
It was like in the second race of the year in Morocco, I had an issue with the car in the qualifying, so I couldn't qualify. I think I qualified 11th or 12th or something out of the top 10. And if you have too much of this out of the yeah top qualifying, you can't win the championship. You need to perform on a high level all the time. And then I also, because I like to overtake, I got punished sometimes. So I lost a few positions. But that's the thing. I think touring cars, if you see a gap, you have to go for it. That's the thing. And if you don't see a gap, there will be just a train with cars, and nobody likes this. So I'm the old style. But FIA thinks that I should always, if I do this, give it the position back. So that's the new thing for this year, then, to not get any penalties.
Yeah, well, this some Ayrton Senna said something really similar to this. Like, if there's a gap, you see it, and you don't go for it, just forget about driving. You are not a driver anymore.
No,
Um,
and you have to be in a certain way, because if I take the knowledge and what I'm doing, in Macau, for example, the last race when I had one of my teammates helping, pulling me in front, slipstream, and just being P1 and winning the race. This is the things you need to do all the time, and to be able to do that, you have to be a little bit, you have to be a race driver. You have to go for the yeah. What do you say?
yeah,
You have to take some risks.
yeah, it's crazy because I was talking to another TCR driver from TCR South America, Pedro Cardoso. I think he was even in the podium for the World Tour here in Brazil.
Yeah, he was
And
he was second behind me. I managed to overtake him in one of the races, so he was second.
yes, yes, that's correct. So he said me something a bit different. So, well, first he said what you just did. You need to be consistent over the season. So you need to collect the points no matter what, and then it will pay off at the end of the season. But then I believe his style is a bit less aggressive, so he prefers not to take into confusion, let's say. Even when he sees a gap, maybe if it is not the quote unquote best gap ever, he wouldn't take it. So it's nice to note this different in the styles, the drivers'
Yeah,
styles.
because when I was young, if I just saw a small gap, I went for it. Any gap I would go for. But now I'm actually calmed down a bit, but still there's a little bit, I need to calm down a bit more.
Awesome. One thing that you've just mentioned, like about BOP. So for me, what stands out in TCR is this idea that the cars are all equivalent, even though we have different constructors. Um, but then again, I was talking to another driver, and he told me that even though the cars are equivalent, they have different characteristics, obviously, and they would perform different in different sections of the circuit, like in a straight or in a turn. What can you tell me about this?
Yeah, but that is because the cars are different. They have different wheelbase. They look different. They have different aero package. So they are different. That's I think that's the difficult thing for the organization to make it as equal as possible, so no one stands out too much. And I think for us, they were on a good way, also managing to get this the weight that if you win, you get the most points. Because before it was all the cars, so all the team got the weight, and I think that was a little bit crazy because if you didn't win but your teammate won, you still got the weight. So it's better now, and I think also that BOP is a little bit better because they have so much data now from the cars, and they can see the difference when we are driving on the track. Because what you want is don't really want to control this. You want the drivers to be flat out and just racing each other. Then that's when you have good races, and I think that we really had that last year.
Got it. Yeah. Again, this guy I'm talking about, he's Juan Angel Rosso. And he told me that the Hondas, for instance, they are better on a straight.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Lincoln Co? What do you think is best on Lincoln Co comparing to the others?
I think the best thing is we are really good in qualifying to make a good lap time with the car. We are now, you know, Honda is a little bit faster on the straights because yeah, they are really fast. I think we are similar to the Hyundais, which means it's a good position for us. I think Honda, because it's still a little bit new car, they can become really fast if they figure out exactly the chassis setup and so on. But our strength is definitely qualifying and then races. Our weakness, if you want to ask, uh, maybe it's when it's a little bit wet. We are still working on that.
Got it. I want to ask you about driving on ice, but I'll save that for a bit later
I
just to stick to
loved,
TCR.
I love driving on ice. Okay, but we keep TCR.
Yesterday we had the first races of the season on TCR South America, and Link and Co are back on track. We didn't have them for the whole season last year, but we got here the first model, and I believe you guys at Cyan you got the second model. So did you have the chance to drive the first model, and what can you tell me about the differences?
Yeah, I've been there from the beginning. But the first model has the same characteristics as the second one. I think we had a little bit small updates on the aero, how the car looks, but it's not so much. And I think also that the Generation 1 car now has the same weight as the Generation 2. So it should be I would say as similar as it can be. It's not a big change.
Got it. And have you tested this season's Cyan cars already?
Yes,
And
we already.
did anything change?
No, it's the same car. We have not changed anything. We've just been working on setup and what we can do with the car. But the car is the same. It's been. I think it's the end of the because we kept this car for a long time now. So it's no change for this year. I
Got
have
it.
the same car as last year. I'm really happy with that because that's a fast car.
Got it. Just one curiosity. The number you use, like 111, is the same that Barrichello's, like Rubens Barrichello from Ferrari. He uses in touring car here in Brazil, just out of
Cool.
curiosity. So yeah, let me ask you about driving on ice because I saw this on your Instagram and also a lot of beautiful pictures on Sweden. What can you tell me about? For me, it feels something like Mario Kart.
It's so much fun. Have you never driven it on ice?
No, no, never.
It's so much fun because you can slide the cars, you can just drive them into the corner, depending if they are four-wheel driven and so on. And up in north of Sweden, where I was doing this, it's so calm. There's no people. I don't know if it's 1,000 people in the village. It's like no one. There's no one. And then still we do these events. We go out. We have people coming from all, different parts of the world to do this ice driving. No, it's really fun. It's really enjoyable.
What are the challenges? Is it anything similar to racing on a wet circuit, or what are the challenges on the ice?
It's you enjoy it more because it's a play, and even if you race on ice, you still everything happens a little bit more in slow motion. Racing is fast and have a lot of grip, and ice is more, control and floating. Different thing, different thing.
Yeah, it feels like fun. And talking about fun, I understand you have this yearly racing, something you do every year with maybe your friends. How does it work?
You mean with this? Oh, that's you have to buy a car. It cannot cost more than 1,000 or 900 euro. And the one who 4 hours race, the one drives most laps wins. Big trophy. That's really important. It's a huge trophy to win this race. And usually we are like 42 teams,
Wow.
42 cars, and 150 drivers maybe.
Wow, that sounds
And
like crazy.
yeah, it is completely crazy because no one is a race driver, or maybe one, but it depends. It's like no one. Anything can happen. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you have any recording of these events? I mean, you should broadcast it.
you should. Yeah, maybe, maybe that's an idea. Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy, but it's fun. It's more for fun, and it's more to be able to try, race driving. So if you want it, you can continue to drive, professional. So this is to try how it can feel to drive a race car, and
Yeah,
it's really nice because a lot of people is trying, and they really enjoy themselves. So it's nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, is there anything else, or what do you like to do when you have some free time?
I like to spend the time with my kids and family. As because I'm traveling so much, so when I'm home, taking care of the kids and enjoying that, that's the best thing I can do. So yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. And again, I was browsing your Instagram, so there are a few beautiful pictures from your kids. Yeah, that's nice. But again, do you like to watch some movies, or you're not the movie guy?
Yeah, I like to watch movies. I like to say, and my boy now, he is like 9 this year. He loved Le Mans. This film Le Mans '66. He wants old cars.
Wow.
So he wants an old car when he grows up.
Yeah, this
So
is funny. Cardozo, the other guy I mentioned, his number, well, not this season because he won last year, but his favorite number is 43 because of that Disney movie Cars.
yeah, I love them too. I've seen them so many times. It's so they capture the atmosphere a lot, in the first movie, and then a little bit in the third. Second one was a little bit off the charts, I think, from race driving. But no, that's nice. It's the movies are nice. I like to watch movies as well.
So, what are your favorite like racing car movies?
Mm. I like Rush. This latest movie, Rush, with James Hunt and Prost. But the best one in the world is Days of Thunder. Tom Cruise. I love the rental car race that they are doing. So I'm a little bit old school.
Yeah, I've just watched this, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I mean, rewatched because it's kind of a classic. It's really cool.
I'm still,
Are you,
I still have that ringtone on my phone from Days of Thunder.
wow.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
love it.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this Formula One new movie they are about to release. Have you seen the trailers?
Yeah, I seen some trailers.
Yeah,
I
it
really
looks
will.
like
It will be interesting to see.
it looks like Hamilton is involved in the production, like he was some kind of consultant and producer of the movie. And he
Yeah,
said this is the most how can I say truthful movie or racing movie ever. So and it's nice because the director, just out of curiosity, the director is the guy from Tom Cruise Top Gun Maverick. I don't
yeah,
know if you've seen it.
of course.
It's really yeah, it's really cool. So I'm really excited about. I can't wait to watch it actually. Okay, just a couple of questions to finish. I know you are busy today. So my first question is, of course, I know you want to win the drivers' championship this year, but do you have any other plans related to racing this year, like a different category or anything like that?
No, full focus on doing the best I can in the team this year, and would like to try to win it. Really focus on that, giving everything I can to do it. But so that's the only focus.
Got it. And if you could name the top three characteristics a great driver must have to win a championship, what would be?
Speed, uh, focus, and calm. I would
Awesome.
say
Awesome.
speed, focus, and calm. That's what you need because speed always pays.